Just ahead on CTV News. The Trump administration facing a deadline to provide updates on Kilmar Abrego Garcia. Plus, the NAACP files a lawsuit against the Department of Education. And
are you at risk for kidney disease? Find out how you can become more educated on that topic coming up on CTV News.
Those stories and more on CTV News, starting now.
Good evening. This is CTV News for Wednesday, April 23rd. I'm Michaela Newton.
And I'm Katara Jones. Thanks for joining us. The deadline has been set for the Trump administration to provide courts with more details on Kilmar Abrego Garcia's mistaken deportation or else face a penalty. A Maryland judge overseeing the case ordered the administration to provide by tonight why they can't provide more information on Abrego Garcia's detainment and deportation. The father of three remains in El Salvador, where the Trump administration admitted to mistakenly deporting him, despite a Supreme Court order that they should facilitate his return to the U.S. The judge is giving the administration until 6 p.m. tonight to answer what led up to the deportation or provide paperwork providing why he should be kept private.
Meanwhile, the NAACP is taking legal action against the U.S. Department of Education. The civil rights organization is suing over what it calls a failure to enforce protections for students of color. We have those details.
We're looking for equity, fairness. Certainly that's the most important part of it.
The NAACP's lawsuit accuses the Department of Education of neglecting its responsibility to protect students' civil rights, particularly Black and brown students who are disproportionately impacted. In February, the department sent a Dear Colleague letter to schools receiving federal funding. The letter said federal law bans schools from considering race in admissions, hiring, pay, financial aid, scholarships, housing, and graduation ceremonies. Linda Thornton-Thomas, president of the Prince George's branch of the NAACP, says students who receive special education are at risk.
Without having that additional support, we don't have those specialized teachers. And that is an expense on the school system because you want the most and the most experienced person to come in to work with your community. So to look at the fact that without that additional funds, that means that a lot of the communities are going to be struggling because they don't have the revenue.
This lawsuit, however, is just one part of the broader conversation happening across the nation about racial justice and equal access to quality education.
And we reached out to the U.S. Department of Education for comment and have not heard back yet.
The nation's highest court heard arguments yesterday surrounding parents' rights to opt their children from reading LGBTQ plus friendly books in the classroom. The case comes out of Montgomery County, where parents on both sides of the issue protested outside the Supreme Court building. Parents for the opt-out believe that the education could be taught at home if they so please, while parents against the ban believe in inclusive education is more important for the greater whole of society.
Well, a Capitol Heights cannabis grower has been fined and placed on probation for violating several Maryland state laws. An investigation by the Maryland Cannabis Administration revealed employee theft and state code violations such as security, sanitation, and record keeping had taken place at Holistic Industries, LLC. Now, Holistic Industries will have to pay a $65,000 fine, and their probationary period will last for 6 months.
A new voice is joining the Prince George's County Board of Education. Acting County Executive Tara Jackson has appointed Amy Olivo to represent District 4. Jackson praised Olivo's long-standing commitment to equality, her strong ties to the Chevrolet and Latino communities, and her passion for public education. Olivo is expected to bring a student-focused collaborative approach to the board.
Well, a new poll shows Americans aren't sure what to believe about measles as an outbreak spreads throughout the country and claims lives. A quarter of those surveyed said they believed a common false claim that getting a child vaccinated against measles could lead to autism. Nearly 20% believed untrue statements that the vaccine against measles is more dangerous than the virus itself. The CDC reports more than 800 current measles cases throughout the country, with nearly all of them in people who haven't been vaccinated for the virus.
A sudden halt in child care help for thousands of Maryland families starting May 1st. The State Department of Education is freezing new enrollment in its child care scholarship program.
The move comes after an 87% surge in demand, with over 21,000 new children enrolled since January 2023. Current families won't be affected as long as they stay eligible, but new applicants will be put on a wait list until funding opens up. And you're watching CTV News. I'm Michaela Newton.
And I'm Katara Jones. Still to come, it's National Work Zone Awareness Week.
That's right. After the break, find out how Maryland is handling those who break the law. We'll be right back.
I came to CTV knowing almost nothing about the production side of media, but I've learned so much since being here in 2 months.
When I came to CTV, I knew this is the industry that I wanted to be in.
This gave me an opportunity to be able to see a whole bunch of different fields of what of my whole big field that I wanted to do.
CTV, it's very involved in the community.
It's not just a TV station, it's a place where you can really learn.
I learned that I'm more capable than I think I am.
I feel like I'm able to put the skills I've been learning at school to test.
If I were to think of a word that sums up my experience at CTV, it would be amazing.
CTV is the perfect spot. There are a lot of people here who just want to see you succeed.
You're going to meet some great people, some lifelong friends, and some lifelong connections that can't do anything but benefit you.
If you want to find a place that will definitely 100% give you an opportunity and believe in you, then come to CTV, because CTV is here to help us.
You should think about the youth that are here. That's where people's lives start.
We are young people that we need the resources to grow and to learn more and better with our craft.
I really enjoy being here, and I wish I can do it again.
Everyone likes rooting for their favorite team with some friends. But if you plan on drinking, don't drive. Designate a sober driver or schedule a rideshare for a safe ride home. Be the make-a-plan driver. Be the driver who saves lives.
Welcome back. Maryland continues to push motorists to drive safely through work zones. This week is Maryland and National Work Zone Awareness Week. New data shows that during the first 2 months of the state's new fine structure for work zone speed violators, more than 48,000 citations were issued. 23 of those citations were fines worth $1,000 for driving more than 40 miles per hour above the speed limit in a work zone. Here in Maryland, from 2019 to 2023, there's been more than 7,100 work zone related crashes.
Well, for the second time this year, sentencing has been delayed for 19-year-old Alex Yee, the former high school student convicted of plotting a mass shooting at 2 schools in Montgomery County. Yee, who wrote a chilling 129-page manifesto, was back in court this week. Prosecutors pushed to move forward with sentencing, but the judge granted another 30-day delay on one condition: Yee must finally undergo a mental health evaluation. He was found guilty back in December and faces up to 10 years in prison.
Do you know your status for kidney disease? If not, this weekend is a good time to find out.
That's right. CTV's Bryce Parker sat down with Congressman Glenn Ivey about an event surrounding kidney disease awareness and education.
Nearly 1 in 7 Americans are battling with a chronic kidney disease, and some of them don't even know it. That's why Congressman Glenn Ivey and the American Kidney Fund are partnering to host a town hall right here at the University of Maryland Capital Region Medical Center this Saturday.
Health is the first wealth, no question about it. And, making sure that you preserve that, I think, is important for you and your family and in many instances for your community.
Congressman Ivey is not only a champion for education surrounding kidney disease, but he's a survivor, having been diagnosed with kidney cancer a little over 20 years ago.
There were no symptoms. The only reason we found it was because I had a flare-up with respect to high blood pressure, and the doctors were checking to see what might have caused it, and we sort of stumbled across it in that way.
Luckily, Ivey's doctors discovered the cancer in stage 1, citing early detection as the key to success, echoed by Chief Medical Officer of the American Kidney Fund, Dr. Pranav Garamella.
Early detection for kidney disease is extremely vital to not just prevent disease progression, but perhaps also reverse some of the early damage that could be done. Kidney disease is silent, so until people get to the last stages, they actually don't know that they have kidney disease, and that's why most people are unaware of the burden of kidney disease that they themselves might be carrying.
The #1 cause of kidney disease and kidney failure in the United States is uncontrolled diabetes, but it could also be genetic. That's why regular checkups, as well as educational events like the one on Saturday, are important to stop the national growth of this disease.
Educational events and advocacy events highlighting the importance of kidney disease really bring to the forefront the silent epidemic of CKD that is growing. And it also helps us identify some of the more uncommon causes that are genetic and that can be identified early, where new treatment options are coming into the field.
As the congressman hopes that his story will keep the people that he represents around just a little while longer.
I've got grandkids now. I want to be around for them as long as I can. And one way to do that is make sure that you're staying on top of your health. Let's see if we can keep each other around as long as possible.
In Largo, I'm Bryce Parker, CTV News.
And Saturday's town hall will take place from noon to 2 p.m.
A Virginia man is facing felony charges for multiple armed road rage incidents in Maryland. State police say 34-year-old Perry Ellis Barmore of Alexandria pointed a gun at another driver on the Woodrow Wilson Bridge in February. After police arrested Barmore, investigation connected him to another incident from last August. In that case, the victim said Barmore fired a shot at him during a road rage incident on Maryland Route 202. Barmore is now charged with attempted murder, felony assault, and other firearm-related offenses. He is awaiting extradition to Maryland. And a Baltimore man is in custody after a traffic stop in the county revealed that he was impersonating a police officer. 60-year-old Antonio Cole was pulled over in Bowie on a Sunday shortly after 5 p.m. Investigation shows that state troopers found several items inside the vehicle resembling law enforcement gear, including a BB gun, fake police badge, and bulletproof vest labeled police. Troopers learned that Cole identified himself as a security guard and is prohibited from carrying firearms and ammunition.
Meanwhile, a D.C. man is sentenced to 16 years in prison for committing multiple armed robberies in both D.C. and in the county. 36-year-old Ruben Bordeaux pled guilty in September of 2024 to carjacking and possessing a firearm during a crime of violence. Court documents revealed that in November of 2023, Bordeaux and co-conspirators targeted and robbed multiple delivery drivers in the span of 4 days. The last heist ended with one driver being shot at, an 8-mile-long police chase, and multiple cars being crashed into. Along with his sentence, Bordeaux is ordered to serve 3 years of supervised release. And Montgomery County Executive Mark Elrich is vetoing legislation that would offer tax breaks for some housing developers. The legislation was approved by the County Council as part of a package promoting the development of more workforce housing units. The goal is to increase access to more affordable housing by exempting developers from any real property tax for 20 years. But Elrich called the tax break fiscally irresponsible and unnecessary. The legislation could still survive as the county council can override his veto. And still to come on CTV News.
A local charity joins forces with a medical service provider to expand health care across the county.
And we'll tell you more and how after the break.
Hey, greetings, everyone. I'm recording this video to let you know that I have heard about some big-time budget slashing and maybe even canceling CTV. CTV gave me my start many years ago, and without it, I would never have gotten where I've gotten today. With that, I've produced many boxing shows that I started on CTV, and ended up taking it to China at one point. At present, I'm now making documentaries. I've been very successful, and I owe a lot of it, if not all of it, to what CTV's opportunity has given me. So do what you can to try to help save CTV.
Might not see it coming. It's prediabetes, and it captures 1 in 3 adults. You may not even know you have it, but you can escape. Take the 1-minute prediabetes risk test to know where you stand. With early diagnosis, you can change the outcome and prevent or delay type 2 diabetes. Be your own hero on smartphones everywhere at doihaveprediabetes.org.
Welcome back. University of Maryland students voted in support of the university system divesting from certain defense and military companies. At the Student Government Association election earlier this month, 55% of voters cast their ballot in favor of the SGA to begin lobbying the university system to divest from funding companies like Lockheed Martin. Advocates say the list of companies may be, quote, implicated in human rights violations like places like Palestine, Myanmar, and the Philippines. According to the Diamondback, UMD says the vote has no power to change the operations or policies of the university who it chooses to divest in.
And sticker shock at college, you're not alone. The average price tag for tuition and fees this year over $11,000 for in-state public schools and more than $43,000 at private colleges. And that's before books and dorm life. But one local college is flipping the script. St. John's College is now promising free tuition for students whose families make $75,000 or less. No gimmicks, just fill out the FAFSA form. It's part of a bigger push to open doors for students from all backgrounds. The program kicks off fall of 2025. And as the weather improves, more people are out walking and sharing the road with cars. But this can be dangerous for pedestrians as distracted driving has become one of the top causes for car collisions. Montgomery County Police are urging people to stop looking at their phones instead of looking at the road. And that goes for drivers and pedestrians. Police are also reminding drivers that it's the law in Maryland to stop at a crosswalk without a light if someone is waiting to cross.
2 nonprofit groups joined forces to provide better access to healthcare services to the Capitol Heights community. CTV News takes you inside Mission of Love Charity's newest healthcare space.
What this means for the community that we serve is that we give them an array of services and we're meeting them where they are.
Today is a big day for the nonprofit Mission of Love Charities, located here in the heart of Capitol Heights. The organization unveiled a new healthcare space where residents will now be able to get medical and behavioral health services, thanks in part to its newest partner, Greater Baden Medical Services.
So that looks like primary medical care services. So anybody who walks through the door can come and get their regular checkups, their vaccinations, referrals for specialty care, referrals for behavioral health services, and also referrals to our other offices.
Mission of Love Charities already provides food assistance to families in need, meals for the unhoused, and other social services. Officials say since January, more than 20,000 people have come to their doors in need of support.
I really believe where people feel comfortable, safe, and supported is where they come the most. And if they're able to get everything here at our door, then it means a lot to them to just come to someplace where they know it's a one-stop shop.
The medical and behavioral health services are only available Tuesdays and Wednesdays from 8 a.m. until 4 p.m. Officials say they are looking to expand those days later this summer. Katara Jones, CTV News. It's time for our pet of the week. Meet Pinky. She's a 2-year-old white and tan pointer mix.
She has been at the shelter since March 26th. Animal management says that Pinky is ready for her forever home.
She'd probably do best in an active home, somebody that's interested in a walking buddy or running buddy. She can be a little bit on the shy side at times, but she's very quick to warm up.
If you would like to adopt Pinky or any of her furry friends, call Animal Management at 301-780-7200. And still to come on CTV News.
Simon Buggs is here with our Wednesday sports page.
What's going on, sports fans? Stay right there because I have some high school baseball highlights in store for you. And Commander General Manager Adam Peters speaks on the upcoming NFL Draft. Be right back.
My opponent is completely disregarding almost half of my arguments which I responded to.
Communities must step up
Laws
and
alone
protest
cannot
against this
stop
normalizing.
bullying.
Well, I completely disagree.
Point of inquiry, do you guys even realize that the #1 killer of children and teens are gun injuries?
You're probably starting to realize now, this is not a debate.
There is no adult in this earth that wants children to die.
I worry for my kids. Let's get you out.
All right, everybody, are you ready? Because your Wednesday sports page is finally here. We begin with some action from the Diamond. The Laurel High School baseball team took a trip to Riverdale yesterday afternoon to try and get a dub against Parkdale. In the first inning, the Spartans made some big plays on offense, like this stolen base to get to third to set up a potential score. And Laurel did just that, as this hit to left field from this Laurel player resulted in an RBI for his team. The Spartans defense made some plays as well, like pitcher C.J. DeTurris throwing 3 straight strikes to give Parkdale their first out of the inning. But soon after, Laurel's defense slipped up, and after the catcher failed to catch the pitch, Parkdale's Gio Velasquez wasted no time running to home plate and getting his team on the board. Both teams were scoreless in the second inning, but in the third, the Spartans scored multiple runs, furthering the lead they had on the Panthers. But despite being down, Parkdale still showed nice hustle, as after another mistake by the Spartans on the pitch, the team added another run to their total thanks to Jose Cruz. The Spartans continued to play well, scoring 5 runs in the top of the 4th inning, such as this double that resulted in 2 runs scored for the team. And in the end, the Spartans went back to Laurel with a win, beating the Panthers 14-9. Laurel returned to action against High Point today at 4:30, while Parkdale will be matching up against Duval today as well. And there was more baseball action around the county, as Wise got shut out by Eleanor Roosevelt 17-0. Northwestern ended their losing streak by taking down Bladensburg 8-2. And finally, Bowie stood on business at home as they beat Flowers 9-0. And moving on to the NFL world, guys, we are just one day away from the NFL draft. And one storyline going into the draft is who the Commanders will take to improve the roster in 2025. Now, my team only has 5 picks in this year's draft, and General Manager Adam Peters touched on the possibility of trading down to acquire more picks.
You're really open to everything, and you're open to moving up if the right move's up. If Abdul Carter falls to 27, I might want to try to move up too and get him. But I mean, if there's a great player that we want to sit and pick, we'll do that. But if there's an opportunity to move back, then we're certainly open to that too. You know, with 5 picks, like you said, that's something you'd like to do is add picks. But you always have to have somebody who wants to come up too, and we'll find that out. We're making those calls this week, and we'll have an idea of who wants to come up, and if we want to do that, and we'll also have an idea of who wants to move back in the first round ahead of us, and so we'll know what we can do there.
The draft begins at 8 o'clock, and I don't know about y'all, but I'm so pumped up for it. And wrapping up sports, the Washington Nationals came away with a win in their first game of their Battle of the Beltway matchup against the Orioles, 7-0. The next game is tonight at 6:45. And that wraps up your Wednesday sports page. Simon Bugs, CTV Sports.
Let's get a look at our 3-day weather forecast. Tonight, mostly clear skies with a low of 52. Thursday, sunny skies with a high of 78 and a low of 53. Friday, mostly sunny with a chance of showers after 2 p.m. with a high of 77 and a low of 64. Saturday, showers likely all day. Temps will rise to 77 and fall to 49.
And for our community calendar, step back in time and march toward justice. The Surratt House Museum invites families to experience Civil War history firsthand on Saturday, April 26th. It's Marching Toward Justice Living History Day, where kids and adults can join historians to try military drills, sample historic foods, and learn about the U.S. colored troops. A special rifle drill demonstration starts at 1 p.m., but for more information, call 301-868-1121. And that's all the time we have for CTV News. Thanks so much for joining us.
We'll see you again tomorrow. Good night.